video for today as I'm hiking the Y. It's snowy and wet, but there's footprints of people who have come before, who have left their footprints in the snow and in the dirt, just enough for me, the next person, to come along and have enough traction to be able to go up this really steep climb and not slip and fall. So my thought is, as we go through the mountains of our life, sometimes you're the person making those foundational footprints for the next person to come along and be able to have some grip, some traction, so that they can make it through. And sometimes you are that person that is needing someone to go ahead of you and set the tracks in the snow or whatever, so that you have traction to be able to keep going. And you know that somebody made it to the top of that mountain because you can see their footprints and you feel the traction in every step you take as you try and put your feet in their footprints so that you can make it up that hill or that mountain or whatever trial or obstacle lies in your path. So, I'm asking you today, are you the person that's leading and putting those footprints on that trail for someone else who is not as, maybe not nearly as experienced, but more so that person who's leading the way, putting those footsteps and those paths for you up that mountain? They've been there before. That's why they're able to lead you. They've been there. They put their own feet in someone else's footsteps and followed that person or that being up that mountain and made it. So now they're able to do it for you. So it doesn't matter if you're the one that is trying to gain traction because somebody else's footprints have been there before. Don't get down on yourself. You're getting stronger in every step. Every time you follow that footprint in the snow or the sand so that you have the traction to get up that mountain, to overcome that battle that you've been facing so that you can get to the top and overlook the top of that mountain. Overlook the top of that circumstance, that trial, the really hard time that knocked you down. But you got up and you kept going and you keep looking for steps. So you had a little more traction to get going. Because if you didn't have that traction and you didn't know, maybe it's not even just having the traction, but if you didn't see the footprints, would you take another step to get up that mountain, to get over that trial, that heartache, the fear, the pain, the trauma, whatever it is? Would you take those footsteps if you didn't see that somebody had already been there and done it for you? Or not done it for you, but did it with you? Or just did it? Would you keep going or would you turn around and go back down? No matter what, however far you get, whether it's to the middle of the mountain or the top of the mountain, or even the first climb of that mountain. Be thankful and excited for the fact that you're moving, that you're doing it, and you're not sitting at home doing nothing, or you're not sitting somewhere thinking my life is not worth this. I can't do anything. I'm stuck and I can't move anymore. Be grateful that you're out trying and you're doing it because you want to progress and you want to make it to the top, so that when you get to the top, you can look over everything that you've accomplished and be proud of yourself. Find that power within you and use it and share it with everybody, because it is amazing that every single one of us that's still alive today is still moving up the mountains and the hills and the valleys and all those moments in life, and we haven't stopped. And if you're close to stopping, reach out. It's not too late. You have friends. You have a support system somewhere. And maybe if you don't feel like you do, there's always support somewhere. Take that moment to reach out, because we were all born with power. Every single one of us was born with great power to do things and to change lives, not just your own. You got this. Reach out. And guess what? There's a rock that almost tripped me back down the mountain. Guess what? That happens in life too. I'm walking backwards up this mountain right now, but it's because my calves hurt and my quads, they're ready to kick it in. They're ready to kick in and help. And guess what? You have people, whether you think you don't or even know, there are people there who see you. No matter what you think, people see you and worry and want to help. And they might not just know how, but they're ready. Just like my quads. They were fresh. They're ready to go. They were ready to help me get up this steep climb. I'm halfway there. And my quads ready to go. Ready to help my body to get to the top of this mountain. So who are your quads in your life? And guess what? When your quads are weary and they tire out, you switch back to your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes. And we're gonna metaphor that for all those that don't think like someone in the fitness industry. When your muscles are fatigued, see? Almost fell. I did fall. But guess what was ready to catch me? My arm. My arm is ready. Has my forearms, my biceps, my shoulders tied into my core. My core was ready. So I didn't completely fall, but I did slip. And now I'm switching back to my quads, or excuse me, my hamstrings, my glutes, my calves. They're not completely burnt. They're ready to go. So who are you? That person that's ready to go, to hop in and let the tired hamstrings or the tired quads, whatever muscle, are you that person that's ready to tap them out? Say, hey, thank you for helping us get this far. I'm gonna come in and be the fresh muscle that helps us continue to overcome that mountain and that trial. Even if you're just a proxy muscle, and I shouldn't even just say just, because that diminishes the value of it and that person, and it's not. We're not diminishing value. You've got to know that there are other muscles, meaning people, spirits. And that means not just human spirits. Our furry animal friends, they have spirits. Sometimes they're the muscle that taps in, gives us comfort and love, when maybe we haven't been able to get off the couch or out of the bed because we're so far down. Maybe it's that animal. Sometimes mine's my dog, Trixie, or Ozzy. We got two. Ozzy loves to run. Trixie likes to run, but she also likes to walk. And they both have tails. And I don't mean the ones with the wag, but like TELLS, I think. When they say, hey, it's time for a walk, I'm ready to go. They come up, they paw, and then they go, come on. They literally nod their head towards the door. Like, come on, get up, let's go. We can do it. Another rock. That's why you need to pay attention. Pay attention to the tails, the head nods, the people reaching out. Or if you're not the person that's really struggling and maybe you're recovering, listen to your body. Listen to the tails of your body. Look for the rocks. Look for the footprints. Look for it all. The signs that tell you you can keep going. I'm just going to show you what we're doing now. I'm looking at footprints in the snow. Footprints in the snow of people who have been here and gone back down. And this snow is it's fresh. It just happened overnight. And it's serene. But guys, this is what I'm telling you. And I'm sorry this video is not, perfect in every single way. The lighting might not be great. I can barely breathe. The video for all that might suck. And the sound quality might be horrible. But you know what? This thought came to me and it came in hard. And the whole point is, sometimes, I'm just going to go back over. Sometimes you need to know that there has been someone before you. One of those footprints, either in the sand, the snow, whatever, something to give you traction, something to give you hope that you can do it. Sometimes you are that person. But how did you become that person? Think of that. And if you're the person that's having a hard time, I'm here to tell you you can do it. And I'm not just saying this as someone who hasn't been there. I'm just going to finish with this. Guys, I've been that person who couldn't get out of bed, who couldn't get off the couch. And I'm telling you, I was this person not too long ago. And some days that person still shows up. But guess what? Back in the day, when I was really going through the thick of it, it was actually about this same time in March 2019. I was sitting in my house in St. George. Just had my baby 2 months before. And my first husband was in the mental hospital because he threatened his life. And we were struggling. Our marriage was not looking good. Clearly, neither one of us really had good emotional, mental reservoirs filled up. And when I say reservoir, I mean we had no more gas in the tank. We were on fumes. And I'm sitting there on my couch, holding my brand new baby, postpartum depression, with probably real depression too, and I shouldn't say real, excuse me. Like, not just postpartum, but probably also, I don't know, I'm not a shrink, but the other kind of depression as well. And I'm sitting there and I'm seriously thinking about how nobody benefits from me being here anymore and how I can't do it. I'm looking at my baby. I'm looking at my kids. Sorry. And I'm thinking they're so much better off without me right now. I'm the one that's, if we're talking about hills and valleys, I was at that moment where I was below sea level, looking up at this big freaking mountain and thinking, that's too damn high. There's no way I can get there. Not a chance. And I started thinking, how can I do this? And I sunk into despair and I was ready to give up. So, and I'll, just for full transparency and honesty, I wasn't, so far to the point with end of life scenarios that I had plans or anything. It was the first stages. And I'm sitting there. And at the time, my brother-in-law lived with us, with his fiance. And he came up the stairs and he said, Jesse, how are you doing? And I said, I'm not doing good. I can't do it today. I just can't do it. And he just sat there and talked to me for hours on my couch, helped me with my baby, who was his niece, and said, you're in a really crappy situation. And it's hard. And I'm so sorry that not only is my brother's not here to help you with it, and that you have a brand new baby and you're kind of stuck and you have family, but they're his family. And I know they love me. Still to this day, we're not together and I spend time with them, but I didn't feel like I could reach out to them. And so he talked to me. He talked me off that little ledge. He helped me get up over that first climb where I was actually off the couch looking at my tennis shoes, thinking, okay, I could put my tennis shoes on. I can do life. That's one simple step. Just having the mindset that you can do it. It might be weak, but it's a mindset and it's a thought. And thoughts turn into actions. And anyway, he finishes talking to me and I start moving. And I'm going to say, again, I'm not a shrink, but in all these situations, movement helps. Exercise helps a ton. It kicks in those hormones, those natural hormones that make you feel good. And we need that, whether we're depressed or not, clinically or just having a bad day. Anyway, he leaves, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later, my best friend calls. I haven't talked to her in months. she calls and she says, "Hey, Jess, are you going to be in town this next week?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm holding back the tears because I've just been praying to God, help me. It's great to have, my in-laws and my friends that I've made in St. George, but there's something different about your best friend from high school, actually junior high, calling you up out of nowhere, telling you, "I need a place to stay." Not because it's like I'm stranded, but I want to stay with you instead of being in a hotel. This is a work trip that she had. She could have stayed in a hotel, but she wanted to stay with me because I know that God told her, "Guess what? Your sister, your adopted sister, really, she's not doing good. And she needs someone. And she needs someone, and that someone needs to be you." She was those footprints for me up the hill. And I was like, "Heck yeah, let's go. Like, when you coming, let's set it up." She came and stayed with me for a week. She had work things to do while she was here, or there, I mean. But part of it is that she took the time. She listened when God told her to walk in a specific direction. And she was there for me. And it pulled me out. We went and hiked Zion with my 2-month-old and my other 2 kids who were, oh goodness, how old were they? Sorry. The math. Let's see. 9 and 7. And the dog, who was like 2 years old, Trixie. We went and hiked at Zion. Enjoyed time together. And through that friend, through those footsteps that I was able to put my feet in. And her feet are bigger than mine. But guess what? Didn't matter. She was able to help me get through that moment. And I've had so many other moments in my life similar to that. But that was the moment that I was able to start my path to where I am now, where I got up and started putting my shoes on, started looking at the footsteps on the path, started putting my feet in those footsteps until I knew how to be the feet that are leading the way. And guys, even when you're at the top of that mountain, you always have her footsteps to look for and to keep climbing, because this is never over. The path, it might end at the top, and guess what? We're almost there. But I'm going to show you we're not at the top. And in about 10-15 seconds, I'd run if I could, but my breath is a little hard to breathe. But we're at the quote-unquote top. We're at the top of the Y. But the path doesn't end here. Look at that mountain behind me. It's huge. And no, we're not climbing it today. We are not climbing it. But look what we've done. Look at all these footprints. There's been people here. And there's people that keep going. I don't see any footprints. Oh, here we go. Somebody kept moving up this way. It's been a minute. But you can tell. Use footprints. People have continued to climb. And when you're ready to climb, you follow them. So, again, in summary, it's not too late. You're not at the end of your rope. People love you. Use the footprints. Utilize the footprints and the people in your life to help you get to the top of your challenge so that you can overcome it. And when it's time to go back down, I like to finish on this. Sometimes the back down is all about gratitude, because we never get to stay at the top. Never. Life's not about that. We get the opportunity to be at the top so people know how to get there. And then we get to walk back down. A little bit of humility. But I'm finding that gratitude is the thing that is the most important. Retracing those steps. Not looking back, but retracing them and remembering how you got there so that you know how to get back to the top when you are coming off of that high. And you're going to come across people as you're going back down. And sometimes you're going to get down halfway and you're going to turn around and walk back up with someone else because they need a buddy to do it with. So think about your peaks, your valleys, your sucking on fumes, whatever it is. Keep going. And you know, I'm here. I may not know you, but you know what? That doesn't matter. We're all human and we're all here to help each other. And if you need someone, reach out. I'll learn to know you. I'm not against that. Shoot me a message. You need someone to talk to? I'll talk. You need a therapist? Guess what? I have good friends who are therapists. I have my own therapist. I'll listen, but if you need a therapist, I'm going to send you to a therapist. I'll just tell you that straight out. I'll get you help. And if you're looking for someone that has some knowledge on how to get back into fitness and get their body healthy again, physically, mentally, emotionally, I can help you with just about all that. The emotional and mental part, I can do a little bit. But again, therapist. Life coach. Well, technically therapist. Legally. But there's people. There's a whole set of people. And I'm going to tell you, my people are not just my friends and my family. My people are definitely my husband, definitely my family and friends, and my community. God is my main person. God is my main person. He knows exactly where to go every single time. But I have 2 physical therapists, my primary care physician, my lady doctor, a life coach of my own, 2 therapists, 2 emotional support animals. I guess 3 if you count our axolotl. He makes me happy. And then all this nature surrounding me. And my all-time favorite is this body. Right after God, of course. But this body is capable of so much. And I'm not just talking physical. Guys, we are way more complex than the physical. So, thank you for taking the time to watch. And I honestly didn't even plan on this being a real deal. But I'm posting this as raw as it gets. And there may be more of these to come. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. But if you like it, please hit the like button. I'm really working hard on a movement to help people in every single way possible, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I don't care what God you believe in, or energy, or divinity, or whatever. We're all human beings, and we're here to help each other. So I'm going to sign off. I'm descending down the Y in Provo, Utah, just in case you were wondering what hike I was doing. And I'm supporting it today as a proud supporter of BYU.